All right, let's dive into a story that has shaped so much of our world. We're going to walk through Genesis chapter 2, and not just as some ancient text, right? We're looking at it as a narrative that's absolutely packed with drama, purpose, and some really profound ideas about where we come from. So the chapter kicks off with this massive, powerful statement. I mean, just imagine the cosmic scale of that. Everything is finished. It's the grand finale to the huge, sweeping creation story in chapter 1. But this ending, well, it's actually just the setup for a much more intimate, personal story.
And right after creation is all wrapped up, the text establishes this rhythm of work and rest. The seventh day is special. It's set apart, it's blessed, it's made holy. And this isn't just about taking a break. It's the culmination of everything that came before, and it kind of sets the stage for the new narrative that's about to start. And this is where things get really interesting. The cosmic lens, you could say, pulls way back, and the focus zooms right in, shifting from the creation of the whole universe to the creation of just one single being.
The story paints this picture of the world before man, and it's basically a blank canvas. The text describes a world with no plants, no rain, just a mist coming up from the ground to water everything. It's a world that is primed and ready, just waiting for someone to show up and take care of it. And here's how that caretaker shows up. It's described as this deeply personal and deliberate act. First, a form is made from the dust of the ground, which suggests both humility and this really deep connection to the earth itself. Then comes this incredibly intimate moment. The breath of life is breathed into him. And just like that, dust becomes a living being. Okay, so we've got the man. What's next? Well, he needs a home. And with that home comes a purpose, a job, and one single, absolutely crucial rule. Now, this isn't just any old spot on the map. A special garden is planted specifically for the man. It's a prepared environment, a sanctuary called Eden, and it's designed to be his home and, well, his workplace. And this garden is a paradise. It has everything you could possibly need. Beautiful trees, plenty of food, and water from a great river that splits into 4, including 2 we still recognize today, the Tigris and the Euphrates. But right there in the middle stand 2 very important trees, the tree of life and the one that's about to become the star of the show, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Let's actually take a look at the source text here for a second. You can see the description of the garden, the man being put there to work it and take care of it, and then the very clear command that follows. And this is the linchpin of the entire story. In the middle of all this freedom and abundance, there is one boundary, one do not touch sign. And the consequence for crossing it couldn't be clearer. You will surely die. This single rule sets up all the tension for everything that's about to happen. But before we get to that drama, the story throws another problem into the mix. And it's not that there's a flaw in creation. It's more of an observation about the man's condition in this perfect world. This is a pretty fascinating moment. For the first time in this whole creation story, something is declared not good. The man's solitude. So the solution is a suitable helper. And that word suitable is so key here. It implies a counterpart, a corresponding partner, not just an assistant. So, what does that look like? What happens next is this incredible scene. All the animals, every beast of the field and bird in the sky are brought right to the man. His task is to give them their names, which is a big act of authority and discernment, right? But this whole parade of creatures is also serving another purpose entirely. The process itself is pretty amazing. As the text shows us, whatever the man called each creature, that's what it was called. So he's actively participating in ordering his world. But while he's doing this, he's also conducting a search. So in one way, the task is a total success. All the animals get a name. But in another, much more personal way, it's a failure. After seeing every single creature, the text says it plainly. No suitable helper was found. His aloneness is no longer just an observation, it's now a proven fact. Okay, so with the problem so clearly laid out, the story moves to its solution, and it's not going to be another animal. It's something entirely new and different. The process is described almost like a kind of divine surgery. The man is put into a deep sleep, and something is taken from his own side, a rib. Now, that's not random. Being built from his side implies they're partners, equals, standing side by side. From that, the woman is made.
And then she is brought to the man.
And the man's reaction, it's pure poetry and recognition. This is now. It's like this cry of discovery, of finally. He sees her and he immediately gets their essential connection. He calls her woman, directly linking her identity to his own, man, because she was taken from him. The search is finally over.
So, with the man and woman united, the chapter ends by describing their state of being. It's the final picture of humanity in its original, intended state.
The narrative actually pauses here to make a direct point. It says this original act of creation, of two being formed from one and then reuniting, is the very foundation for marriage. That concept of becoming one flesh is rooted right here, in this very first relationship. And this is the final, profound image the chapter leaves us with. Total vulnerability without any fear. Complete openness, transparency, and innocence. It's a picture of a world with no barriers, no guilt, and no shame at all. So that's where we leave them, at the peak of paradise. A man and a woman united in a perfect garden with only one rule to follow. The stage is set, the characters are in place, and it leaves us with the ultimate cliffhanger. What happens when that one rule gets broken?